Hey everyone, so on today's video what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to prune your fruit tree during the winter season, and also how to spray them to avoid any disease and to make them stronger once spring comes and they start leafing out again. I'm Lisa the Whimsical Gardener. I would love if you can subscribe to the channel. So today what I'm going to show you is I'm going to go around the yard, and I've got several fruit trees, apple, pear, nectarine, a whole bunch of fruit trees. So I'm going to go one by one and I'm going to show you how I'm going to prune them and my combination of what I use to spray them. And I typically spray these 2 to 3 times during the winter season. And I start with my fruit tree spray. So I'll show you how I do that. Then I also do some copper fungicide. When you spray, what you do is look at the forecast, because you want to spray on days when it's not windy. Trust me, I've made that mistake. And then you also want to look to make sure it's not going to rain. So in our forecast, it's cloudy but no rain or no wind. So this project I'll do over a couple of days because I need to prune first and then I need to spray. So I'm going to tackle the shorter trees first, because the taller ones I'm going to need a ladder out for that. So behind me is a Granny Smith apple. So I'm going to definitely need a ladder for this one to prune it. So let me bring that and then I'll show you what I do exactly. So the first thing I'm going to do is any branches that is crisscrossing, meaning that it's touching another branch and going to obstruct airflow, I'm going to prune that. So for example, take this one. See how it's pointing this way and it's going to touch this branch right there? I don't need that, so I'm going to go ahead and snip it. And usually when I prune my fruit trees as well too, I make sure that it's not below 50 degrees because I want the cut to heal before it becomes cold. So typically I look at the weather and then determine which day I want to cut. See this one here? It's going to go into the tree this way. I don't want that. Over here too as well. Now this one here is interesting because it's growing up this way. And I do want to limb the apple tree up. So I'm going to cut this entire branch out. Now sometimes you do need a lopper, but this tree is only like 3 years old, so I don't think I need a lopper. A regular snippers will be fine. This one here, notice how this branch is touching this one, so I'm going to go ahead and snip that out. Over on this side here I can see another one that's growing in, so I'll snip that. Over there too as well, found another one here. This is one of my favorite projects to do, is pruning the fruit trees, because I love pruning it. Now I do need a ladder because I'm only 5'2". This tree is super tall, and I'm going to do some heading cuts as well. It is advisory, if you are going to use a ladder, have somebody spot you. Alright, don't do what I do. Oh my goodness, this ground is so soft. Okay, better. Again, have somebody spot you. Alright guys, don't do what I'm doing here. This one is growing in, so I need to cut that. So I'm going to do some heading cuts. So what that is the taller leader branches. I'm going to go ahead and snip them because I want the plant to branch out rather than going tall and skinny. And for that, you guys, I'm way too short. I'm just going to have to bend the branches gently like that and then snip them. And what I'm looking for is to have the tree have a vase shape. Eventually I'm going to have the landscape guys do this, because I'm going to be too short at that point. Alright, hopefully you can see this. Sorry about the light, everybody. Notice that I did some heading cuts. So I trimmed the top there because I wanted to bush out rather than going tall and skinny. And throughout the plant, you'll notice that none of the branches, when you look through, are crisscrossing. Now there is one that I intentionally left, which is this one right here, because the tree is sparse there, so I wanted to grow out a little bit. But otherwise, if you look here, look around the tree, you can see the airflow, right? Nothing is like crisscrossing, and it has a V shape in it. So love the shape of this tree. Again, by far one of my favorite winter tasks to do. Over here we have another Granny Smith apple, so I'm going to start with the heading cuts first, and then I'll start trimming. Yeah, next year I'm going to have somebody do this because too short. It's amazing how much this tree grew in one season, because this is year 2 for us for this plant. So the weather is nice. So I'm going to start my fruit tree fertilizer first. So I took, I'm going to put the actual measurement on the screen. I don't measure, guys, I just eyeball. So I took that, poured into my container here, and now I'm going to fill it up with some water. I did check the weather, and it's not going to rain, not windy either. Take my little nozzle thing, put it back in here, and tighten it up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my sprayer and then start spraying. Careful with your eyes, you don't want to spray it and let it get on you. And you want to make sure that you coat the top part of the branch, the under part of the branch, so you may need to just walk around. By the way, this thing smells awful. And that's pretty much it. So now what I'm going to do is just let that dry for a good half an hour or so. And I'm going to move to my other plants. In the meanwhile, after that, I'll come back with a second layer. Now, let me bring in a little closer because I do want to show you. You do need to spray the trunk as well. Oh, this thing smells awful. So see how saturated everything is? That's what I'm looking for. And I need to make sure that my trunk as well is completely dredged. See how saturated everything is? That's what I'm looking for. Alright, let's move on to the next plants. And I'm basically doing this to all of my fruit trees, including my vines, my berry, raspberry, blueberry, everything like that. This is my pomegranate tree right here, so I'm going to go ahead and spray that. You guys, this thing smells awful. Oh my god. I have my container that you have to pump it to release the pressure. Yuck, gross. Alright, let's go move on to the blueberries and raspberries. The kiwi vine has gone rogue, you guys, but I still need to spray it. Alright, let's spray the grapevine. Fungicide after that. Now if you're smart, what you could have done is spray the inside first and then spray the outside. That way you're not standing under dripping water, which I just realized that, so next time I'll learn. Guess I'll just stand by. Alright, let's move on to the blueberries. Usually when I spray, I make sure that the dog is not in the yard, so I keep him up on the deck. I'll probably go over and spray the neighbor's blueberry too, because that's the only fruit that they have. Yeah, I'll go over and spray the neighbor's blueberry. I'll be right back, guys. Spraying the mulberry now, making sure the trunk and everything is completely coated. This you have to gently unscrew it and let the air come out. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up. Guys, again, I don't measure, I just eyeball it, because this is organic material. Oh man. Okay, I gotta find a better way to do this. So I just wasted a bunch of oil. Might be gonna spray my fruit cocktail tree, which is nectarine, plum. What else is on there? Nectarine, plum, and something else. Peach, nectarine, plum tree. Ugh. This one I need to do a little bit extra care for it because it dropped a lot of fruit last year. A little bit windy, so I'm making sure I'm not in the path of the wind. So I'm done with the fruit tree oil. That took me about a good hour and change to spray all of the fruit trees, and everything is now dry. So now I'm going to go with a second coat, and that would be my copper fungicide. So I'm using Captain Jack's copper fungicide. I'll link this in the description as well for you. This is a tried and true on there, and it's good for roses fruit tree and listed vegetables. Now I am going to go ahead and spray my roses, as I already have this, but I'm going to do a separate video on rose maintenance. But since I sprayed them a couple of times this season, I'll just go ahead and do it now. For this, I'm going to go ahead and use my safe container. There we go. I'll put the mixing instructions on the screen. You know, guys, I don't measure, so I'm just going to eyeball this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mix it now with some water, and then we'll start spraying. I had to turn the water back on because we had turned it off for winter. We pruned our figs, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I spray that too as well. And I'm making sure that all of the bark is completely covered. Alright, let's move on and let's do the apple over there. So I'm spraying. Today is December 27th, guys. It's 70 degrees. Look, I'm wearing regular clothes outside. I'm sweating right now, but I'm not complaining because I love it. Perfect weather, the wind's not blowing, so really nice. This is my Granny Smith apple tree. I'm gonna try to do one more spray before the probably February or so, or early March. I may do another spray before they leaf out. I'm gonna go ahead and give my roses a spray. This one here severely needs pruning. It's a climbing rose. It's a David Austin Bathsheba rose, which I need to give it a severe pruning. This one over here is a clear Austin. This is my Red Delicious apple. I did a little bit of pruning of the bottom part of it, but I still need to cut out some branches that are gonna go into each other. This concludes the pruning of the fruit trees and spraying them. Again, I'm going to try to do one more spray before the trees started to leaf out, probably February, maybe March. So yeah, this is my process. So fruit tree spray and copper fungicide, and that's pretty much it. And I noticed that when you spray them, it holds on to the fruit much better. So I've got ones where the tree was like too tall and I didn't get to spray the top part of it. I can clearly see the difference between where I got the spray versus where I didn't. Would love if you can subscribe to the channel. Until next time, everybody, happy gardening.